Hi guys, my name is Cody, and today I'm going to be bringing you my first in a series of 3 Grid 2 DLC pack reviews. Today it's going to be the Drift Pack, which came out on July 9th for $5.99 US, $3.99 British pounds, or also 480 Microsoft points. The 4 cars that are featured in this pack all competed in the 2013 Formula Drift Championship. Those 4 cars would be the 2010 Team Orange Mitsubishi Evo 10, the 2013 NOS Energy Nissan 370Z, the Daijiro Yoshihara 1993 Nissan 240SX, and the 2011 Tyler McQuarrie Chevrolet Camaro SS. So yeah, let's go ahead, let's jump right into it. I'm going to start things off first here with the Evo 10. It is a rear-wheel drive converted from its original 4-wheel drive drivetrain. It has 562 brake horsepower from a 2.3-liter June Auto V6, uses endless monoblock brakes, and weighs approximately 1,290 kilograms. And next up is the 370Z. It has a Nissan Motorsports 5.6-liter V8, producing approximately 800 brake horsepower. Obviously, rear-wheel drive drivetrain, has Wilwood pedals, calipers, and rotors. It's also driven by Chris Forsberg, who's leading the 2013 Formula Drift competition. Next up is the 240SX, which features a 6.7-liter aluminum V8, producing around 570 brake horsepower, has a KW suspension underneath, and also Wilwood brakes. It's also got a very nice livery, as you can see. But last but not least is the Camaro SS, which has a Copo LS7 7,000 cubic inch V8 producing around 750 brake horsepower, has an Ebot tuned suspension with Wilwood brakes. Now we're going to jump straight into gameplay, starting with the Evo 10. And here we go, we're on the grid as we launch from Brands Hatch for a drift event. This is the Indy variation. This is the first time that I'm going to be driving all 4 of these cars here. To get a nice little drift sideways, little pop of E-brake into the first corner, just trying to feel out the grip of the car as I go up into the hairpin here at turn 2. Nice little drift there in the middle of the corner. I turned into that left-hander there at the bottom of the hill, and was it just gripped as soon as it happened. Went over the bump, got back in the throttle, and I started turning, and as soon as that happened, the front end just bit, and I went straight across the grass. Nothing I could do. Lost my points for that. So yeah, the Evo it's got a lot of front grip, as you can see. It's got a lot of traction, and it also it's very light. So it's easy to control, but it's a bit difficult to get the back end to step out. Moving on to the 370 here. Very easy to slide this car. As I mentioned in the specs, it's got 800 brake horsepower from this Nissan 5.6-liter V8. And the first time, I actually admit this is the second time, because my first attempt, I ended up going straight into the gravel there at turn 2 through that hairpin. And I'm sorry that I don't remember the name for that corner. I know it's very famous, but can't remember it off the top of my head. As you can see, going there into the penultimate corner, very easy to get it sideways. Going through the final corner, wow, just eating up those points. I mean, wasn't even a ×4 multiplier, but just was racking it up really easy. So yeah, the main attributes of this car: a lot less traction, a lot heavier than the Evo, but it is, because of that, it's very easy to get the back end to step out, and you don't even really need to manipulate the handbrake. It's almost just sort of turn the car in and just use the throttle. It's just power on as soon as you go in, and it'll just get sideways, and it's actually really fun just to sort of keep the weight balanced. So that's a pretty good car. Moving on, actually here to my favorite, is the 240SX. You'll see here, going through the tunnel, boom, straight away, and this was my first attempt at this car. Nice ×2 multiplier. Took a very early entry to that corner. Probably wasn't the best decision, but I still clipped the bollard points very closely. Got some good points. ×3 multiplier for that one. Got to use the handbrake a little bit on this car to get it sideways. It's got a very low center of gravity, but it's got that nice balance of power and grip, so you really can feel what this car is doing, and I decided to throw it into the wall and give away a lot of points there. But yeah, this car is pretty much the perfect definition for what I wanted in a drift car on Grid 2 when it came out, and I never did really feel it in any of the drift events I did on career mode. So I'm glad they put a car like this on the game. It's just, I feel like anyone could pick this car on multiplayer or whatever, go in and potentially have a chance at winning if they know the track and if they know what they're doing. So kudos to Codemasters on that. This car is really nice to drive. Last but not least is the Camaro. And unfortunately, after going through the first couple of cars, I was not really too optimistic about this one being any better than the 240, and I tried to take the same line into that hairpin, and the back end decided not to step out. I think that was just purely because the car needs to definitely use that handbrake to get it sideways. It's got power, but it's not quite as much as the 370. So because it weighs even more than that car, you've actually got to use the handbrake on this thing really to get that thing sideways, you know, on the entry to the corner. Had a decent run there, wasn't anything really that special. It's just this car, it has no characteristics that would warrant picking this over any of the other 3 cars in the pack, unfortunately. I mean, even if I had driven this one first, I still feel like I would probably like it the least. So it's not a bad car. I'm sure you could easily take this online and win drift events with it, no problem. But I definitely would recommend the other 3 over it, possibly the Evo being pretty close with this, but it's still not too bad of a car. So moving on to my conclusions. Like I've said, the 240SX is an exceptional car. It's very nice to handle. It is consistent. It's very easy to just simply get drifts and actually have fun with the drift mode, which is not indicative of the way the drift mode was for me whenever the game first came out. So I was very happy with this pack, and I think that several of the cars, including the Evo and the 370Z, would make the drifting a lot more fun for a lot of people. So if you've got a few dollars laying around, I would definitely say maybe give this pack a shot, and it might actually make you enjoy the drift mode for once on this game. So yeah, stay tuned for my next episode in the series. Should be out very soon. So until then, Cody out.